Tonight on how the financial cards around the Bay City State Theater began collapsing. We have learned a whistleblower tipped off a city official that work had started on a city project and the city had no signed contract for the work to be done. And Terry, this involves improvements at Winona Park.
Yes, man, it did. The city got a grant for $900,000 from the Michigan Strategic Fund for those improvements at Winona Park. Now, some of the work actually began when city officials realized we haven't even put out bids for this work yet. The grant in question is this Revitalization and Placemaking Program grant. The $900,000 was awarded to the city by the Michigan Strategic Fund, but when it was signed on September 8th, the signature on the document was Michael Bacigalupo, and the beneficiary was the State Theater of Bay City, Bay County. The person from the MEDC who signed the document was Valerie Hogue, who retired at the end of 2023. Emails obtained through the Freedom of Information Act indicate Bay City's marketing manager, Shelley Thurston, became concerned when she could not find the RAP agreement. Once she got the agreement and realized Bacigalupo signed it, she wrote this email to an MEDC employee on October 25th. Why was the grant given to the State Theater? She continues, I am confused how this ended up with a grant agreement with the State Theater instead of the city. Jake Winder from the MEDC responded, writing, once it was determined that this project would be supported, I was put in touch with Mike, referring to Bacigalupo. Winder added, once we discussed the project further, I was told that the recipient would be the State Theater. He added, I suggest we have a call with Mike to discuss the discrepancy and make a plan to move forward. Thurston would email Winder back the next day, writing, was it Mike that told you to transfer it to the State Theater? And if so, was it by email or by phone? She added, Mike did not have authorization to do that, and the city manager is wanting an explanation as to how that happened and any documentation associated with it. Just days later, city manager Dana Muscat removed Bacigalupo as the city's special events coordinator, and soon after, Bacigalupo was fired as the State Theater's director. The two companies which did some work on Winona Park still haven't been paid, as the grant at this point appears to be in limbo. So that grant money has not been paid at all, and Shelley Thurston from Bay City says it's in the limbo if the city will ever get that grant or a reworked one. Now, I did speak with Odie McKinley of the MEDC and asked, how did someone at that agency sign into an agreement with Bacigalupo and the State Theater when it was intended for the city? And he was going to try to get that question answered for me. And by the way, the FBI is still investigating.